Now we will study about, this is the second part of ICMP, that is Internet Control Message Protocol. This is the second part. Here we will study about the remaining error message, that is time exceed, parameter problem and redirection. We will study about these three things. Already we have studied about destination unreachable and source sequence in the last video, and in this video we will study about time exceed. And in this time exit we will study about code 0 and code 1. Next we will study about parameter problem, fourth one, and final one is redirection. After that we will study about ICMP query message. This ICMP query message is of two part. We will first study echo, request and reply, and next we will study about timestamp, request and reply. Okay, so these things we will study in this particular video. So let us begin. And so this is time, this one is number 3. So this is time exceed. Okay, time exceeded. Okay, and it is generated in following two cases, as I have already told, in following two cases. Okay, so let us, one is code 0 and another is, let us say, about, this is about code 1. Okay, so we will discuss about what is code 0 and code 1 one by one. Okay, and so whenever a router, we can say, whenever a router or a datagram with TTL, that is time to leave value, with 0, it discards the datagram and sends a time exceed message to the original source. So first, okay, I first write the theoretical part, then I will discuss with the diagram. Okay, so whenever a router with a datagram with TTL, that is time to leave. Okay, time to leave. Okay, so TTL is time to leave, with TTL value to 0. Okay, it discard the datagram and send a time exceed message to the original source. Okay, so this is this 0. Okay, so let us see what is TTL and something, all this. Suppose there is a node A and you want to send a message to node B, maybe via R1, R2 and R3 routers. Okay, so you want to intend this message is sent to be A to B, and maybe there is a path from A to R1, R1 to R2, R2 to R3 and R3 to finally B. And I set the TTL, that is time to leave, as 4, okay, so 5 or 4, whatever may be. So from one hop, when it goes from this hop to this hop, every time this TTL will be decremented. Okay, so maybe it may so happen that there is an error over here. Suppose first it go from A to R1, so TTL is now decremented by 1, and from R1 to R2 it is also decremented by 1, but in R2 maybe it face some error, that is maybe it face one loop. There may be loop with R2 with R1. Okay, so it falls in a loop. So after 2 or 3 times looping, the TTL will finish. See why? Suppose let us say it is 5. So from A to R1 it becomes 4. From R1 to R2 3. Again there is due to some problem there is loop. So from R2 again it go to R1. So it is 2. R1 to R2 1. R2 to R1 0, and this looping is happened and time to live is out. But the message is looped over here, and so the message doesn't reach to the destination B, and the time to live is exceeded. So it will send one thing, that is time exceeded message, that is from R1 to A. It will send time exceeded. Okay, that is TE means nothing but it will send a message from R1 to E, R1 to A with time exceeded. Okay, sorry, time exceed message to A. So this is for code 0. And for, let us study about the code 1. Okay, so basically in code 1 what will happen, suppose you are sending one data from A to B, but there are many fragments you want to send. Suppose there is also a time, by that time all the fragments should be sent from A to B. But in that case, suppose the fragments are so many that after certain time you have fixed previously till there are some fragments which have not been sent. So in that case, code 1 will appear. So first I write the theoretical part of the code 1. Okay. So when the final destination doesn't receives all fragments in a set time, which I just told you, it discards all the received frames and sends a time exceeded message to the original source. So pictorially I can say that you are sending some message from A to B, and there are n number of datagrams you are going to send, and suppose T1 for each datagram, and suppose after some time the datagram exceeded this time limit and total time limit is T1 plus T, say. Okay, so in this case the set time is finished, but still there are some fragments to be sent, and in that case B will discard all the received fragments and this message will send to the source, that is A. So this is about code 0 and code 1, and this is nothing but time exceed. Okay, so this is the third part. Next we will study about the fourth one, that is parameter problem. Okay, so what is a parameter problem? If the router or host discovers that any ambiguity or missing value in any of the field, we have studied about there are fields in Icmp message format, that is type, code, checksum, etc, etc. So if it is found that anything is missing, it discards the datagram and send a parameter problem message to the source again. Okay, and in parameter problem there are two type of code is there, that is code 0, which will indicate that it is error or ambiguity in any of the header field, and for code 1 that is the receive part of the option is missing. Okay, sorry, the required part of the option is missing. So let us write the theory part, that is parameter problem. Okay, so what is the parameter problem? If router or host discovers an ambiguous or missing value in any field of the datagram, then it sends a parameter problem message back to the source. Okay, and there are two code which I already told you, that is code 0. What is code 0? That is error or ambiguity in any one of the header field, and code 1, that is receive required part of the option is missing. So these are the two codes. Okay, so this is the fourth point, that is a parameter passing. And now we will study about the last part of this error reporting message, that is redirection. Okay, so redirection. So what is the redirection? Suppose you are sending a message from A to B and accidentally you are sending a message with router R1, but router R1 ultimately will send a message to B, but it found that this packet can be its best way, that if A send this message to via another router, it will be better. So pictorially, just if you want to say that, I can say that suppose this is A and this is the router R1. Okay, this is the router R2, and there is another hop, and from here you want to go to B. Okay, now suppose A sends a message to B via router R1. So A send the message via router R1. R1 will send that IP packet to B R2. Okay, and from R2 it will go to B. Okay, but also R1 find that if it is better that A direct send this message to R2, because it will save the hop count or whatever may be. So it will send this message, that is redirection message. Let us say this is redirection message to A, that that it has sent this packet. You can send this packet via R2. Okay, so RM means nothing but RM is redirection message. Okay, so I think this is the light problem is there. So RM is redirection message. Okay, and for the theory, there is nothing about the theory, but still it is sent for the redirection. It is sent from a router to a host on same or local network, on same local network. Okay, so this is about the redirection message. So we have studied about the all 5 error reporting message of ICMP. In the previous video we have studied about destination unreachable, source quench, time exit, parameter problem, and redirection. Okay, now we will study about another two things, that is ICMP query message. So ICMP query message is of two part, that is echo request and reply, and timestamp request and reply. So we will study about both of those. Okay, so first we will study about ICMP query message. So let us say that ICMP query message. So ICMP query message, so it is used to diagnose some network problems. So what is ICMP query message? It is used to diagnose, that is to detect some network problems, some network problems. Okay, so this has two parts. First one is echo request and reply. Echo request and reply. So what is echo request and reply? And it is designed for diagnostic purpose. These messages are needed to determine whether two systems can communicate or talk with each other. Okay. So for the theory part, let us write designed for the diagnostics purpose. Designed for the diagnostics purpose, these messages are used to determine whether two systems can talk or communicate with each other. So pictorially I can say that this is A and this is B. So first it will give a echo request message. So it is echo request, and B will give that another message, that is echo reply. Okay, so this is the first part, that is echo request and reply. Next we will study about timestamp request and reply. So number 2 is timestamp request and reply. Okay, so what is the timestamp request and reply? When two machines uses these messages to determine the round trip time needed for an IP datagram to travel between them. Okay, so what is the round trip time? We will study about three things, that is sending time, receiving times, and round trip time. So sending times means receive minus original, receiving times is nothing but return time minus transmit time, and round trip time is sending plus receiving time. Okay, so regarding about the theory, we can write, if two machines uses this message to determine the round trip time RTT needed for an IP datagram to travel between them. Okay, and in this theory we can say that the sending time, so what is the sending time? It is the receive time minus original, second one receiving time, it is returned minus transmit, and round trip time, it is this plus this, that is sending plus receiving. Okay, so this is the nothing but round trip request and reply. Okay, so finally we have covered all the Icmp messages, Icmp things in the two videos. So let us discuss what we have studied till now. So in the first video we have studied that what is Icmp message, that is why do we need Icmp message. It is basically nothing but network layer protocol and designed to overcome two problems for IP protocol, that is error reporting and correcting, and it lacks of queries. Next we study where this Icmp message basically lies, all the formats. Okay, and what are the Icmp messages? There are two types of Icmp messages we have studied. One is error reporting and query fetch. Next we studied about Icmp message format. So in the message format we have seen that there is a type which is of 8-bit code, which is 8-bit checksum, rest of the header, data section, all these things, and we have elaborately studied each and every part of it. Okay. Next, we have studied about error reporting messages, that is Icmp, and it has already, it has 5 parts. One is destination unreachable, source quench, time exceeded, parameter problem, and redirection. And finally, we have studied about Icmp query message. It has 2 parts, that is echo request and reply, and timestamp request and reply. So this is all about Icmp messages. Okay, thank you.